Hello guys, welcome to Autolatest Cars. Today we are driving the new generation of Nissan Qashqai. It's called the Nissan Qashqai J12. It's a car that actually it's a bestseller in Western Europe and of course in Eastern Europe. First of all, we are driving now the entry-level version, which is called 1.33 the turbo, 156 horsepower and 270 newton meters, an engine that it's mated to a gearbox. It's called Xtronic, and we are going to talk more about this gearbox. First of all, the fuel consumption on the normal roads outside of city, it's 5.4. We just now entered on the highway, and the fuel consumption will rise, of course, because that's normal, because this engine, it's only mild hybrid, is not a full hybrid engine. First of all, this engine it was modified by Nissan. It has an engine code HR13 mild hybrid. It's an engine that it was also known from Renault car, which was called 133 TCE, a four-cylinder engine that also it's sold to Mercedes-Benz. So a lot of A250 plug-in versions or CLA 250 previous generation has this engine, and of course it's an engine that was mounted on Dacia Duster 2, the second generation of Duster, and it was a very good petrol engine. Today we are talking about the new Qashqai facelift 2025, a car that it's not so economically because it's not a full size. It's not a full hybrid. This is a mild hybrid. So on the highway driving, the fuel consumption you'll best expect it's 7.2 till 8 liters per 100 kilometers an hour at 130 kph. Now I'm driving 115, and it's okay. The fuel consumption after I think let's say the average in the last 2,380 kilometers is 7.2, the real average, and in the last no, here is it. In the last 60, I drove 64 kilometers, and the fuel consumption is 543. So the average fuel consumption, it's quite good. Since reset, the fuel consumption it's 6.8 liters per 100. So this is not a full size SUV car. It's a compact SUV with a mild hybrid petrol engine. But this 1.33 turbo engine, 158 horsepower, it's a four-cylinder engine. This is not a three-cylinder, it's a four-cylinder engine, and when it's made to this gearbox, it has 270 newton meters by 1800 rpm. The fuel consumption, Nissan says this car has a fuel consumption of 6.3 average. We manage an average of 7.3, but if you drive easily on the highway on the normal mode, this is normal, this is not eco mode, it's 6.7, which is quite good, even when we compare this statistics with an let's say a RAV4 2.5 hybrid, which is most sold. It's a bestseller on all markets, but when you get out with a full hybrid SUV on the highway, you'll have a very bad fuel consumption. So this is the reality of Chinese plug-in hybrid cars, European plug-in cars, and all hybrid cars with multimodal gearbox or eCVT. That's a very big problem, and that's a situation when this Qashqai, it's more recommended to buy it on a normal mild hybrid petrol engine, which is quite good. Compared with the previous generation, the Google services, it's standard, which is wow. From my point of view, this is one of the few cars that have Google integrated, so it doesn't have to necessarily, you don't have to connect with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. It has Google inside, so it's called Google services. This is one of the first cars with this system, and it rules. The price tag of this car in the entry-level version on this in in this market, this is European market, this is Romanian car market. It's around 31,000 euros with our VAT of 21%, which is again a very good price. Of course, if you go to take our top of the line versions, the price tag will go around 40,000 euros. So this is not a cheap car, but it's a Japanese car made in Sunderland, UK. So it's a very good compact car. Even now in 2025, after the big facelifted version last year, facelifted version, the big LCD back there, it's quite good. The other one is also good. The build quality, it's surprisingly good for a Qashqai. Previous generation of Qashqai were okay, but this one it's even better, because effectively definitely it's a very good car compared with even with all Chinese cars. So that's a very big problem for the Chinese, because the Japanese actually had only to lower the price tag, because they have engines, they have technology, they have good quality, they have cars made in Europe like this Qashqai, but they didn't have quite good prices, entry-level prices. Of course, this car you could buy it with the entry-level, with this engine, with only 136 horsepower and 6-speed manual gearbox. From my point of view, definitely go for the Xtronic, because this gearbox that I'm showing you here, it's an older Nissan gearbox. It's called Xtronic. It's a CVT gearbox with two steps and torque converter. It's crazy. A lot of guys don't know how the Xtronic actually works. They made it I don't know 10-15 years ago, and they made it on the bigger diesel engines on Nissan X-Trail and the previous generation of Qashqai 1.6 DCI diesel engines with around 400 or 450 Newton meters. And actually they made that gearbox. This gearbox, they made it to be very good even on high torque engines. When they put it on this tiny 270 Newton meter petrol engine, it will have a lifespan twice as big compared with the diesel engines. But even then, 10 years ago or 15 years ago, this gearbox was quite good. In the city driving, you are going to use the first two steps and the torque converters, and the torque converter like a normal classical automatic torque converter gearbox. In the second, I think below 30 or 40 kilometers an hour, it will use these two dedicated gears, and after that it's going to run like a normal CVT, which is quite good, because on the highway mode, as you could probably see, I'm driving with 126 kilometers an hour, and the RPM is 2000 RPM. When you go in the outside of city driving, around 60, 80, 90 kilometers an hour, the average RPM is around 1200 or around 1300 RPM, which is incredible for a automatic gearbox, or for a compact SUV with empty weight of 1.5 tons. Even though, so the Qashqai, it's not a good option when you go for the top of the line versions like this Antenna with leather on the dashboard and a lot of gadgets, even with leather seats with the with memory. But if you go on the entry level version, made it with this gearbox, it definitely makes sense from my point of view. As you probably see, I'm driving 133 kilometers an hour. The RPM is 2000. It's the same like 126. And if you go with 150 kilometers an hour, the RPM is going to be around 2300. So it's a very fast car and efficient fast car, even though it's not a plug-in version or a full hybrid version car. So this is a very good system for the guys, for all of you that want to drive outside the city. Of course, it's this system and this engine and this gearbox is capable of receiving an all-wheel drive system, because this is a Nissan. But if you are driving on the plain fields of southeast of Europe, not in the mountains, definitely go for this version 2-wheel drive, because the all-wheel drive system it's heavier, the fuel consumption is worse, even though that Nissan Xtronic gearbox and the intelligent all-wheel drive system uses 2-wheel drive on the highway or something like that. But if you are driving on bad roads, definitely the system will go all-wheel drive and the fuel consumption will rise. So believe me, this is one of the most economical compact SUVs that I drove in the last 2 years, because 6.7 liters per 100 kilometers an hour on the highway driving, it's quite good. It's a fuel consumption of a previous generation of diesel, which is wow from my point of view. So you definitely shouldn't go for a 50,000 euro Tegna Plus Qashqai with a hybrid system, 1.5 hybrid system. You definitely should go for this entry level, but make a test drive with both of the versions, because this is it's the max power. It's 158. It's not over 200. So the Google services is quite good. The 31,000 euros price tag is quite good. The luggage compartment 504 liters with and 1,047 liter. It's quite good. Max speed, they say it's 199. Definitely could go 200 kilometers an hour, because it's a CVT gearbox, so you'll get max speed much with lower RPM compared with other gearboxes. As I told you, the fuel tank is 55 liters. So now we are driving after 70 kilometers. We still have 557 kilometers of range, which is wow. Even though outside it's not so nice to drive. 0-100, as I told you, 9.2 seconds. So it's not a dead SUV, dead petrol SUV. It's quite good. Why you should buy Qashqai? First of all, the image of this car, it's as a brand in Europe, on European market, it's top compared with the Chinese. And in this market, you will have a full warranty of 6 years without kilometers. So it's quite shocking, because the new importer from Romania, called Nissan Romania, has increased the warranty of all cars, and this Qashqai has 6 years without limit of kilometers. So if you drive it forever in these 6 years, you definitely should make the oil change, and everything will be fine. So for 31,000 euros, remember, this car in the entry-level version with the Xtronic gearbox is cheaper than the Dacia Bigster with 155 horsepower and the hybrid system. A system that it's much worse than this one on the highway, because you will have a bigger fuel consumption. The Duster, the hybrid Duster, it will have a fuel consumption of around 7.3, and the Bigster, which is bigger, you'll have around 7.5 or 7.6 liter per 100 kilometers, because it has a very bad gearbox. It's called multi-modal gearbox. This one, 2000 RPM, 6.7. So this is a life behind the steering wheel of a modern compact SUV, without hybridization, without being full hybrid, without being I have a multi-modal gearbox like Renault or the Chinese brands. Definitely, it's a simple gearbox, it's a simple engine, it has only the alternator mild hybrid, and that's it. And Nissan really made this system, this car made this car work quite beautiful. And of course, after 130 kilometers now, the fuel consumption is lower, 6.6. As I told you, you could go forever with 150, 140, 150 kilometers now without problems with this engine. So it's better on the highway than the full hybrid version, and of course it's much cheaper. So the direct competitors for this Qashqai facelift 2025, from our point of view of Autolatest cars, are Kia Sportage facelift, Hyundai Tucson facelift, both of them 150 horsepower, 1.6 turbo engine, but they have the 7-speed DCT gearbox that had some problems. This Xtronic had some problems 10 years ago on Nissan Altima on American market, but they fix it. The fuel consumption of those cars, Sportage and Tucson, it's much worse than this Qashqai. 6.6, it's like the capability of 1.6 TGDI from Kia Hyundai at 80 or 90 kilometers an hour, not on the highway driving. The Ford Kuga, the old Ford Kuga, it's okay, but it has a 1.5 turbo engine, 83 horsepower, but it's mated with 88 gearbox, so it's a better gearbox than this one on the highway. But it has only a 3-cylinder 1.5 turbo engine, Dragon it's called. It's a good car. It's an old platform like this Qashqai, but still it's a good option. As I told you, Dacia Bigster, but the Bigster it doesn't have an image of a good car like Duster, like Dacia. It's an entry-level brand with an entry-level product with the 33,000 euro price tag, which is crazy from my point of view, because that Bigster in hybrid with the hybrid system should cost around 26, 27 max with all the equipment. And VW Tiguan 1.5 TCI with the DSG7 or Skoda Kodiaq, but the Kodiaq is bigger, Tiguan is smaller. Good cars, but very expensive, and a lot of optional extras on VW cars, so it's crazy. And of course the Renault Austral with the same engine, but with the double speed, double clutch gearbox, which is worse from my point of view, because it's a Magna Getra gearbox. It's the former power shift from Ford. It's as a lot of guys make a joke, power shift gearbox. It has a lot of problems. It had a lot of problems with the 6 gear, the former DCT. Now it has 7 gears. I think it's a good gearbox until the warranty. It's okay. So Nissan uses the same old engine, but with a lot of modification made by them for the mild hybrid and this gearbox. And after we reduce the speed, the fuel consumption is going to get lower. But and that's all about the competition. Nissan, Renault, Hyundai, Kia, VW, all VW cars. Of course, Qashqai still remains one of the best compact SUV cars in 2025. So please make a test drive with them. Don't believe us, go drive it, and you'll find out why this car is still one of the most recommended compact SUV cars on European market. And we are driving now on and Tecna, I think, or a Tecna Plus version with the 20-inch alloy wheels, which are not so quite recommended, but still it has a very good running gear. Thank you.